Hello, we are live. I'm Tobias Strand from TS Coaching, and I actually made it work. So I'm both live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time without any extra membership or other that cost something. I'm actually. It was pretty difficult to make it work because you cannot have the same webcam in use in different in different Zoom or I'm through StreamYard, but I did it through OBS, this video studio program that is free, and I'm here both on Facebook and YouTube. I just wanted to do this short live today, and it's kind of confusing when I'm first time on two screens and two lives at the same time, so bear with me. But yeah, hope you have had a good start of the week, and I wanted to talk about this high performing person. What's that? And I will soon talk about it. And it's like this for me now. It's late time. I want to work on my late night radio voice, and that's probably a style that could work very well for me. And that's how we people are. We shouldn't try to be this ideal. For me, my ideal is not to be a high energetic clown or funny person, or if I'm shouting, some people are shouting in the mic, but maybe that's not for me. Or I can change. I can be different. But now it's like this late night radio voice, and I can try to work with that, and I don't have to speak that fastly. So yeah, what I want to talk about is I'm reading this cool book, this coaching book, Coaching for Performance by Sir John Whitmore, and this is a new edition, but this is actually a quite old book from '92, and I've been through certifications, or one like the basic ICF certification for coaching, and then I read also studied been on a NLP course, and which I took the best things out of, some useful stuff that I could get from that also. But like coaching is begin management and leadership, and not everything there is so scientific, but they just take things that work, and not everything is so scientific, and it's some of it is pseudo scientific, but that's how it is, pseudoscience. But people like what works. Most people don't like or don't care about if it's scientific or not. Some things aren't, but they are used anyway. Sometimes I feel like it would just be better if everyone would use scientific stuff, things that have empirical proof for them, but we don't live in that kind of world. So we have to adjust and just use and take what we have and what's out there. But the ideal would be that everyone would use science, empirical, proven methods and frameworks, and that should be the basis of our society. And luckily, in the jurisdiction and our juridical system and medical system and those important areas, they are still very much used. So about this book, I thought this would be some old style and not modern style of coaching, because coaching has developed so much, even though it's been for a long time, but during the last 30 years, it has developed a lot. And as Brendan Burchard talks about, that coaching today is not like you go through this framework and ask the same questions and look on through the goals and then you make changes and then you go do that same thing all the time. It's more about understanding psychology, behavioral, and habits and things like that. Much more in depth and have a broad knowledge than the basic coaching. And also, I have my headphones on today. These are the same type that I had in my prior work, in my last work, and I think they are so good. So I actually have bought my own for a couple of years ago, and also bought similar to my mom because they are so easy to just plug in when you're talking on the phone and you want to have your hands free. But my mom is not that tech savvy, so she just wants something simple that you can just plug in and it works right away. So no Bluetooth and that kind of shit for her, because it doesn't understand that. And so it's just basic chord that you just put in. That's perfect for her. And also they are so very good, so I bought my own. So yeah, about this book, I haven't read it all yet, but I just wanted to this is coaching for performance. But there's one part here. I want to talk more about this book, but today I want to talk about this one part about high performing. And in this book, they talk about going from, there are different levels, but the next highest level is independent. And the next one is interdependent. Like when you think about the workplace in a team, if everyone are interdependent, they are working together for shared goals and have a vision that they strive for and work towards together. And then you cannot be like too independent, that feel like you have the strong feeling, I need to perform, I need to reach my goals, and it's me, and what I can achieve, and how I look, and what kind of prizes I can get. Because that doesn't help the group. It's also too competitive, and it's a higher risk for burnouts within the members of that kind of environment. Of course, you can have an environment with members that are really like high performing, just performing, wants to have this kind of competitive attitude that they can compete with each other and feel really good about it. But most people are not like that. We have to remember that when people talk about high performing, and especially in certain types of sectors, business in general, and healthcare in certain sectors, and especially in sales and finance and also in the American culture. So it's no wonder that coaching is so big in USA, because the competitive culture is so strong there. So they want to have so many want to have something in complement to that. People don't want to compete, and people don't want to perform all the time and be this super achiever. And what I do in my coaching is I want to have those super achievers that feel that I have such high standards. I'm also a little bit too perfectionistic, and I just strive and achieve so much, and I'm good at it. But for what cause? You have started thinking about, why do I do as I do? Do I have to do it? What do I really want to do? Or am I just trying to get confirmation or admiration by others? I have strong I have a strong feeling that I need to be seen and heard from what I perform, how I perform, and that can really easily make you postpone your life, or that you somewhere later, somewhere in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, when I have achieved this and that, then I will live my life, then I will start living my life. But actually your life is here and now, and you should live it here and now, and embrace that. But if you're always looking for the next thing you have to achieve, you have to perform, you want to get those prizes, and you have to that confirmation from others, then you're not living in the now. So that's kind of tough for many people. So if you started thinking that you don't really want to, I don't really want to just perform and make up my value from achieving things. But what is really meaningful, or how should I live? Like I have this idea that I could explain it more about this hedonistic way of living and eudaimonic, or what's in English, eudaimonic way of living. Hedonistic is more like pleasure, happiness, and the eudaimonic is living with meaning and values, and in a value direction. So that's something to think about. It's really interesting when you start to think about it. And what else? It says here in the book about high performing that this is example of one person in the team. He has a kind of this mindset that he's leading from the independent stage, that I am a high performer, and it's also a healthy one to have, but it's actually wrong, because you are so strongly with me, myself, I am this lone performer, or this lone wolf, and I need to get on the top by myself and stay there. But this person also puts so much pressure on himself. This is or it can be also a woman, but in the example it's a man, and because this person has to work longer and harder than anyone else, because in order to achieve that high performing. And for many people that's completely fine if you can do it and you want to do it and if you manage, but not everyone can. And also it's a question, can you do it or not? It's like, do you want to do it? Is that the kind of life that you want to live? Why have you asked yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I performing? So in this example, this person works longer and harder, and it takes him to the brink of burnout. And many people today live with the conviction or belief or story that they cannot burn out. It's like burnout, that's just for weak people, that's just not for me. I can just continue to work late evenings, get up in the morning, continue working. It's like and it's not I'm invisible, I can do that, and burnout, no way. And some people can manage, and if you're one of them, luckily for you. But if you want to do it, but also just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to, only if you want to, and if you for the right reasons, because you can have some, like if you have a strong need for admiration and value by your performance, what you do, then you will want to have higher risk that you want to do that. But if you wouldn't have those kind of stories and beliefs that I have to perform, I need to do in order to be okay and valued, what would you do then? Would you do something differently? That's the question. and that many people that have realized that, they have started doing something else, or just stop doing what they're doing and just start living their life. But then if you have the interdependent mindset or belief, then we are truly, you can think about or believe that we are truly successful together and not alone. We are not lone performance. We are together as a team, and we reach the goals, and we perform well together. And then you can engage the other project members and in your team and at your workplace. It's so much better than having these low standards of that. It's kind of a low standard, like I have to perform, I am the best alone. And so it's something we all can become better at. I think also I have sometimes because we all have experience of those people that just take that are these more extrovert people, talk a lot, and they say, this is my idea. And if even though they have worked in a team, and then someone else, often the quiet one or the intelligent one or the creative one, made or came up with the idea, but then the loudest one or the most talkative and extroverted, this is my idea, and I can take the admiration for this, and somewhat some things like that. And that's also true. We have, if you know, in order to take on the admiration and to feel proud of what you have done, you need to be willing to take it on. So you also have to ask for it. But it's not always correct when someone says that this is my idea and this is what I've done, and that you need to. I think you need to create a culture of that. Everyone, also the more quiet ones, can talk, and if they want to, and also those who talk too much should also not be allowed to talk as much as they want, so that it's balanced. That's really important, I think. So yeah, I don't know if I want to. I will continue to read this one, and I think it's really good. It's really good. It's like I already know basically everything that's in this book. And its coaching is not about techniques and methods. Grow, that's one very widely used. This is like the classic method in coaching: goal, reality, options, and what's next or will. And it says in the book also that the grow method or technique is not coaching by itself. You can use the framework and the questions but that's in itself is not coaching. Coaching is around the other persons, the coaches. What do you say about the coaches? Reality, and what the coaches want to do, and how this coaches sees about things, and also this inner life and limitations, and also opportunities, and external limitation and opportunities. And it's a procedure of, or a task of, exploring that. And it's not about going through his questions and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's much more abstract and difficult to explain. So many people try to explain coaching, but you don't need to. If you want to get coached, you don't have to know what coaching is, but you have to know. You have to feel that this is a good coach, and this person can help me or this group can help me achieve what I want. That's important. And I understand that it's not about the things that you do, how you do it. I've listened to the conversations where two coaches are discussing, and you can hear it from how they talk and how they see things, and also how they evoke questions and thoughts in each other when they talk. And it's quite extraordinary, actually. But, and of course, in this classical book, they also explain it like those basic things. It's active listening, open questions, not closed questions. It's about attitudes, mindset. It's about that you're curious about the other person, things like that. And you don't actually have to be knowledgeable about the subject and the area. You don't have to have the technical knowledge. And I also had, but some people, and if you think that you need to, that's completely fine. Because I've had talk with companies that they said that we have tried some coach, but it wasn't really successful because this coach were not knowledgeable in our area. But the people do their tasks, and if that company or the CEO of that company has that belief and opinion, then I cannot do anything about it. I know it's not true, but I can coach around that belief if that CEO is open to it. But at that moment, I couldn't do anything. I could only say that, okay, if that's what you believe, I can really respect that and understand it, because you want, what's interesting for you is that if you take on a coach, you want to get the best results possible. And what you often think is that, okay, we need to have a coach that has technical knowledge, that actually have experience about what we do. And that could help you. Of course, it's easy to think that it's not a bad thing, but it can actually be that, exactly that. If you have too much knowledge, you are coaching on to technical side. Like coaching comes originally from sports, and golf and tennis that's like the classical way to say, but the inner work of tennis, or was it golf? Inner work of tennis, and then inner game of tennis, I don't know, and then in a game of work. And if you are, for example, they had golf experts coaching for tennis in a tennis environment, and then because they were not those golf players were not tennis experts, they could coach in the same way as in tennis, but on a high level, like like in a more attitude, or I don't remember the word for it, but they didn't coach for how should you hold the racket, like now, and just the technical, stand right, put your hands up, like, or how do you do it in tennis? They could just see and observe the person, and more on a bodily level, more about like you could say energy, how you move and how you observe when the ball comes and all things like that. And that is right. That's really coaching that gives you results, instead of focusing on those, like what you say, tips. Stand here exactly, and you will get these exact results by just swinging in 90 degrees like this juju with this 50% force and this juju, and then you will get a perfect swing and like a hit in tennis in this case. But it doesn't work like that. And then because they realize that if you're focusing on you are, how should I explain it? It's, if you understand coaching, you understand this, but it's not really easy to explain. But it's more like an observable level. I need to go back to it and then I will write something about it and explain what coaching really is from this classical way from sports into business. And then I also wanted to, before I end, it's nighttime for me, and that's why I'm talking with this late night radio voice, but I only have sound in my right ear and I would like to have it in my both ears. Just hold on. No. Almost. Ooh. No. That's a little bit bummer. It's so fun to have it in both my ears. I don't know how it sounds for you, but it sounds really cool. Now then, I need to fix that later. Before I end, I wanted to, can you see this? Yeah, this book about burnout. I have really bad camera, but it's about burnout. It's in Swedish. I have started listening to it on this app. I don't even remember its name, but that's good because I don't know free marketing for them. And burnout, don't get burnt out. I don't say that. I haven't. When I listen, I have started listening. I had listened to 2 hours of 6 hours of this book, and I very much align and resonate with what it is about. Many of the things I do and relate to myself and the feelings. It's really like a little bit. It's a high risk for burnout for me. I haven't been burnt out, but like almost I have felt signs of it. And why I said feelings is because burnout. If you think about it in like work burnout or just burnout overall, is it's emotional problem. It's like how you handle emotional reactions, perhaps, or emotional experiences, and in a way that takes too much energy from you. You cannot really handle those emotional experiences, and therefore you burn out. You're not burnt out because you have too much work to do, too many tasks to do. That's not why you get burnt out. So it's more deep than that. But in this book they talk about it so easily to just think about this shallow stuff. Okay, you have too much work. Okay, you need to lower that amount of tasks. You need to do things that gives you energy. You need to rest, and then you will be fine. But it's not. And then it's also easy to just start medicating it, and that's also a little bit wrong. Burnout it's a whole. You not only lose your power source, you lose a part of yourself. You're not yourself anymore. So don't get burnt out. But it's in this book they just handle up. They just go from truth to truth to truth. It's so close to reality, and they explain it so. Or it's one guy. Yeah, he explains it so well is like the Bible of burnout, I would say. So I think we here in Finland are quite long with understanding of burnout, even though we don't accept officially burnout without depression, but they also say in the book like depression and burnout has same kind of source or core problematic reason. It's depression is not feeling not feeling joy or happiness, and it's basically in core a misalignment, or this is just what I have, if I just remember it correctly, that how you can explain it is, it's there's something you cannot handle certain things, emotional things in your life, so you can not get what you want, so that which will drain you of energy, so you will be left out with this depressive state. That is basically depression. And then burnout is also, it's not that you are out of energy, it's more like you have unable to handle certain emotional states and reactions and experiences in your life. So yeah, as I said, it's not about having too much to do, too little of rest. It's like it's on all it's a psychophysical level, perhaps. I know, yeah. It's not, I'm not very experienced in this area, but because I cannot like it doesn't flow like that, but I just have an understanding. But when you can talk about something fluently like that, then you have a really good understanding of it. I don't, and I'm not an burnout expert, but it's something very interesting because I see it in many people, and it's very much around us. And people, yeah, there's one thing I remember. In the book he said, it's an audiobook, so I heard that there's less stigma around work burnout. So for many people, it's like a relief that, okay, yeah, I can say it's because of my work. It's not because I have done something wrong. It's not because I can't make it. So it's because of work. That's the reason I'm burnt out. And also, it's also like a good thing, like yeah, this look at me, how I'm so important, and I have so much things to do and tasks to do, so I got burnt out. And you can see that also. It's like some people are proud of saying that they are burnt out, and I think many people don't want to hear this, but you can see it. And if you look at the studies and the experience of people, then there are many reasons why, and that's a good reason why one important reason why you are burnt out, because you have that in you, that you take too much pride in your work, and that you're in your importance. And that's something that's really for me, and I will talk more about burnt out, because for example, before, when I got my first vacation, I was really anxious and stressed. In Finland, we have everyone have 4 weeks of vacation, and you have, when you're working full time. And when I got my first vacation, I was really stressed the first 2 weeks, and anxious, and I got migraine and things like that. And because then I didn't work, I didn't have my daily work to do and my daily things to do and keeping myself busy. so that but then I have learned to be more relaxed and enjoy my vacation from the start. It takes a couple of days, but it's better. It's not that's like it was in the beginning. And but if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have the vacation, and that's the reason why many people are entrepreneurs here in Finland, because or over the world, because they are so scared of being free, actually, but being not having anything to do. So it's kind of sad that you don't always have to do something. And yeah. And what else? This is pretty long now again, and but it's more for me like to have like a diary. No, I'm not. I've tried to write, and I try to. That's basically what I don't have. Try to write a diary, but that's not for me. But just to talk. This is like a diary. So if you know, and doing it live, it's like even better. So this late night voice radio should stop now. It has gone on too long, and it's always easier to talk too long than just to make it in a couple of minutes, the 10 minutes or 2 minutes. But I enjoy it. It's mostly for myself. So what else? I think I will talk more about these two things I talked about today again some other day. So have a good week. Bye. Tuning out.